Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Average Age Plays. This time, we're looking at one of the classic civilizations of Age of Empires 2, the Britons. The Britons are one of the, again, classic civilizations of the game. They are perhaps the definitive archer civilization. And if we go ahead and look at their unique features and attributes, you'll see that almost everything they bring to the table is geared toward this archer strategy. Looking first off, because I want to highlight this one first because it's happening right now, shepherds work 25% faster. Now, what that means in practice is that for the Britons, 5 shepherds collect from sheep faster than 6 shepherds from other civilizations collect sheep. Now that gives you options. Most build orders will start you off with 6 villagers on sheep. You could, as the Britons, put a 6th on sheep like normal. That means that you'd be collecting food even faster, right? But what makes more sense if you're going to go for a typical archer strategy is to take that 6th shepherd and put them on wood instead. That means that you're getting wood faster. It also means, like in my case, I'm going to put an extra villager on wood, and I can afford to do that because of the faster working Briton shepherds. So getting that wood economy going up faster means I'll be able to support that archer strategy even better. If you take a look again at the traits, moving from that, and you can see why Briton why Briton archers are so revered. In the Castle Age, and again in the Imperial Age, Briton archers get +1 range. And so that means that in the Castle Age, and especially in the Imperial Age, you outrange most things in the game. Your archers are just extra deadly. That range is not something to take for granted. It is not something to scoff at. It adds up. You'll also see as the team bonus that Briton archery ranges work 20% faster. So what that means is that you get archers out faster from your archery ranges, and again, those archers shoot farther, and in the long run are therefore deadlier than most other archers are, right? The final trait that I want to highlight is the town centers costing 50% less wood once the Castle Age is reached, right? And so what that means in practice is that, and you'll see in this game, that you're able to keep that archery production going, you keep the archers flowing, and you can throw down 1 town center or 2 town centers, and because it's not costing as much wood, it's not impacting your massing of archers like it normally would. So everything is about being able to, build a strong economy at home while keeping your archery ranges going with your farther firing archers. It is all about archers. And that's even before we look at the unique technology Yeoman in the Castle Age, which gives your archers even more range. And then the unique unit, the Longbowman, which is an archer with even more range. The strategy for the Britons is very, very straightforward, right? So in this game, I am up against, in the blue here, Anche 29 playing as the Indians. Now, the Indians do have additional pierce armor on, I believe it's specifically their scout line. It may be their cavalry as a whole. I'd have to double check that, but I know that the scouts at least have additional pierce armor. So that is something that, in that sense, that's kind of a good counter if he decides to go heavy into scouts. Indians, of course, kind of one of their main claims to fame is that as they age up, their villagers cost less food. Right, so or fewer food, less food. So they're a good civilization, but I think when I think Indians, the thing I think of most is their camel play. Indians love going camels, which is great if you're facing a knight civilization. But if you're going up against an archer civ, camels won't work so well. So we'll see how Anche 29 plays this. In the meantime, what I'm attempting to do, and I think this is typical for a Briton player, one thing you want to be aware of whenever you're playing, especially a civilization whose strategy is so obvious, if you're playing the Britons, or something like the Mayans, for example, your opponent will know that you're going to go archers, right? I mean, that's just expected. So you have to keep that in mind and plan around it. Maybe it means that you go with a functionally inferior strategy that may be the superior choice because it's a mind game, like going knights as the Britons. You know, that's an option. In my case, what I'm doing is, yes, I am going to go archers. I do want to do the classic Briton play, but I want to start with a drush. I want to start by hitting him with militia and just distracting him, you know, trying to slow him down a little bit, throw him for a loop, while I keep my economy churning away at home. So that's what I'm doing here. Got the militia out. I'm now teching up. Anche's teching up as well. He does hit the feudal age first. He is 3 villagers behind. So I'm not that worried about it. Now note that he is drushing me at the same time as I'm drushing him. So we'll see. Take a look at the idle TC time right now. Take a look at, you know, the vill counts. And let's see who's more effective with their drush. Note that he looks like he doesn't quite know. He has invested into the men-at-arms upgrade. So these guys are going to be a little bit more impactful. For me, I'm not wanting to overcommit to this. I want to distract. Let's see here. Now I think he's focused on the offense. He doesn't quite see what's going on. Okay, he's pulling away, and I'm drawing him off of wood. That's all I wanted to do, right? I am starting to wall up at home. Now, he's on the attack here. Oof. Oh, run! Run! Oh, and he makes it. He makes it. Does she? No, I've left these guys alone because I've got to focus on the defense here. Now, one of the things I was very happy about, I focused on defense, so I'm not really doing a lot with my drush. I'm trying to keep my vills alive. I don't want to lose anybody. But as he's moving through my base, and I'm pulling back when I need to pull back, but I send back to work the groups that need to go back. And because I'm going archers, I know, you know, I have the correct counter to men-at-arms coming out. I just need to buy myself some time. So all I'm doing is just, you know, moving vills as I need to. And take a look. I think, as scary as that was, he's got double my idle TC time. You know, so just keeping a cool head, keeping the economy going.
Mandatum.
Ooh, uh-oh, come on.
Mandatum? Yay.
Now, I might lose a vill here. I'm worried for her. She might die. Oh, no, she gets out. She gets out, and then that means that this whole men-at-arms push goes down. He took out 1 archer in exchange for his scout, his 3 men-at-arms. I'm calling that a win for me. More idle TC time for Anche. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. He's now trying to push with an archer as well, but no. Now, one thing that's important to recognize about the Britons, if we were to look again at the unique features of the Briton civilization, is until you hit the castle age, the only bonus that you have is that your archery ranges work faster, right? So that's nice. That's a great thing. In fact, I think it was very useful. And here I am. Because these guys stayed alive, I'm able to cause even more distractions, which is great. Your archery ranges work faster, so they help get that mass going, which is great. But, you know, beyond that, your archers aren't any different. They aren't any, you know, more special than any other civilization's archers until you hit the castle age. So, oftentimes, it makes sense to, you know, begin the goal of massing up your archers, and then try to rush up to castle age. You get a really big power spike once you hit castle age. Right now, keeping Vil counts high, which is going great. I'm very, very happy about that. So take a look. If you look here, I've got 13 on food to his 11. So I should be on track to hit Castle Age before he does. And that's, again, while the archers are still coming out. That's one of the beautiful things about playing archers, is if you're going to play a knight civilization, you have to get to Castle Age, and then it's only after you hit Castle that you can start producing your power unit. Whereas if you play an archer civilization, and the Britons are, you know, a classic example, then you can mass your power unit earlier in the game, in the feudal age, and then once you hit Castle, you can just hit the upgrade, and you have a whole host of units already on the field that you can simply upgrade to the next level, right? And that, by the way, is the reason why I'm not moving out. You know, I could go on the offense. I could try to put some pressure on him. And I think ultimately I get that idea in my head, like maybe I should do something. You know, I do get worried if I give my opponent too much breathing room and I don't put some pressure on him. That's my personal play style, is I love putting pressure on my opponent, right? So I will be sending these guys out, but... And look at this. We have Anche using the market to get up, and I applaud that. That is the right move for him, and something I should have considered myself, is taking advantage of the market to get to the Castle Age faster. He will tech up just a hair before I do. But I'm going on the offense. I've got a pretty good, you know, band of warriors here. Anche, I think, has made the right decision to begin producing skirmishers. Again, when you know what your opponent is going to do, it's helpful to, you know, have the counter already there, right? And he has blacksmith upgrades for them too, so, you know, double points for him. However, I don't know that, you know, 6 will be enough to stop me, especially once I hit the Castle Age and I get those extra bonuses online. I do get a glimpse of his force, and so you'll see me, like, yeah, I'm noticing this and making sure to keep my archers alive. That is the thing that is so scary and you do not want to do, is build up an archer horde only to lose them in the feudal age. And then you hit Castle Age and you have no archers left, and that makes you a sitting duck. So I'm bringing them back home just to make sure that they stay alive. And also rendezvous with the other archers. I've continued to build at home. I want to keep those archer ranges going. Now, almost immediately, I throw down one town center, and I believe I will throw down a second town center shortly. Where, again, I'm taking advantage of that Briton bonus that the town centers cost less wood, right? And so that means I can do this. I can put down the town center. I can put down the farms, which of course cost wood as well. I can put down the farms to help support that economy. I can build my economy at home while keeping the archer ranges going because of those wood bonuses. Now here, for some reason, I'm only producing out of the one archer range. I think I must have misclicked. And no, by the way, too, I'd done this earlier. I put out a stable and got out a couple of scouts. And the reason for that is, again, what counters skirmishers, scouts do. And I thought it would be, you know, it's worthwhile to just go ahead and, you know, have a couple of scouts on the field just to even be annoying, let alone if I can actually take advantage of the opportunity to wipe them. You know, that'd be great. So, what I'm hoping to do, I'm holding them in the background, I'm hoping that his army will kind of come in and get separated from his base so I can swing the scouts in from behind and take advantage of the attack. Now here, he makes a huge mistake. This is a massive, 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 massive mistake. He separates out his archers from his skirmishers. His archers run into mine and get absolutely cleansed. Right? Big mistake. And then my scouts come in from the rear, and they should wipe the floor with the remaining crossbows. This is another reason why it's a good idea to have scouts or knights just supporting your archers too, is that they can run up and finish off units that, you know, maybe your archers aren't able to. Yeah. Notice I'm doing a little strafing back and forth here just to render these two useless. Yeah. Further firing Briton archers right there. And the pressure is on. Yeah. Okay, so 3 town centers up. I've got Vills coming out of... Well, I have a wheelbarrow on one. Vills coming out of the other 2. So the economy at home is booming. It's great. And I have a siege workshop up and a mangonel. Mangonels, of course, being perfect against skirmishers. So right now, I feel like I've just got control of this game. I am a little worried about what he could do with 16 fully upgraded skirmishers. But I'm the one applying the pressure. I've got a great economy booming at home. I think that I've got a really good handle on this game. Now we do have Anche bringing his own mangonel forward. Now mangonels are not as scary for a Briton player as they are for others because, again, the further firing Briton archers means you can actually oftentimes take out a mangonel before it can get its shot off. Now, there is a mistake. I do make a couple of mistakes here. One is I keep my 2 mangonel right beside each other. And that means that they both go down. So I've lost 3 mangonel to his 1. You know, so well played on his part. That's a mistake on my end. Yeah, this part's a little scary. This is absolutely not what I want. I'm pulling back. I've got a mangonel queued up. I think I'm pop capped. So I don't want to fight this. That's a fight I lose. I'm trying to run away and just preserve as much of my archer ball as I can. And you will see that I'm bringing villagers forward. What I'm planning on here is all of the action has been on this east side of the map. And so I'm hoping, crossing my fingers and hoping that with everything going on in the east, I can sneak over to the west and just put down a castle and he'll be distracted, not see it, or not be able to respond until it's too late. Now, I do want to highlight this moment. This is another area for personal improvement for me. Up to this point, I have the stronger economy, and I had a much stronger economy. But I get so focused on the military and on the pressure, I let my economy lax. And so Anche actually, he catches up to me, eco-wise, and I believe he will later take the Vil lead. That is an area where I could improve. I have the foundation to have the stronger economy. I think you've seen that up to this point in the game. He, however, makes a mistake, and I think this is the moment that defines the game. He goes on the offense raiding with skirmishers, and skirmishers simply are not a raiding unit. They are weak to everything that is not, you know, an archer or a cav archer. And yes, he is getting a couple of ill kills. Good for him. But this whole group, 20 skirmishers, they'll go down to a couple of knights. I'm sending knights in now to clean them up. And What that also tells me, because the skirmishers are in my base, that means that they're not in his base. And it means I know that I'm free to push and apply even more pressure on him. So, again, and he actually does wipe out my knights, because my knights have no blacksmith upgrades compared to the skirmishers' castle upgrades. So, they do survive a little longer than they otherwise would have if I had even maybe the feudal age upgrades. That would have made a difference. But in the long run, they're done for. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, he's so distracted at home that he's not even controlling his units right. And, yeah, they're just being wiped out here. And it's at this point in the game that I know I've got the advantage. That's so much food down the drain. That's so much military presence down the drain. And now I can send my knights and my reinforcements of archers up to kind of reinforce the main push and begin putting a pressure, begin continuing to put the pressure on Anche and really bring this game to a close. I got Yeoman, clicking up here, so I want even more range on my archers. That was a move I was really proud of. If you find yourself in a situation where you're trying to dodge a mangonel shot with your mangonels, I have found that often the best course of action is to move forward, run toward the mangonel, and you can miss the shot. Now let's see if I can... Yeah, here... Again, I probably could outrange the mangonel with my own archers. They shoot so far, especially with the yeoman coming in. But that's also why I built the knights, is I don't even want to risk it. I don't want to risk the mangonel getting one good shot and suddenly I'm down 20 archers. That is the danger of siege weaponry, and it's just not worth risking it. So why not just have a couple of knights to handle it for you? Alright, I've hit the Imperial Age. As soon as I hit Imperial Age, almost every game, my number one concern is win the Treb War. Get trebuchets out right away, and try to make sure that you have enough trebuchets to not just start shelling enemy buildings, but to destroy any trebuchets that he might send against you. Right? It often becomes a trebuchet versus trebuchet fight, and you want to make sure you win that battle. So that's always the very first thing I prioritize. And the Britons, again, their Imperial unique technology is Warwolf, which gives their trebuchets a little more accuracy and also blast damage. So, I mean, that gives them even more... just one more tool in their skill set to win those Treb battles, which is a pretty cool thing, too. You will see that Anche's just in a tough situation. He's built a couple of camels to counter the knights, which is great, but camels don't have enough pierce armor. They'll get destroyed by the archers. And he doesn't really know what to do. Anche calls the GG. And so that's it for the Britons. Again, a very straightforward civilization. A classic. One of the beginner go-to civilizations for learning how to play archers, and they are a very, very good civilization when you come at them with a game plan. So, let me know in the comments what you think about the Britons, what kind of strategies you like to bring to the table. Because they are such a simple civilization, it seems, the strategy, the most obvious strategy is so obvious that perhaps there are, maybe some other options that you might think of when it comes to how to play the Britons. Let me know what you think. How do you beat these guys? What are their weaknesses? Feel free to leave me some comments. Otherwise, that's it for Average Age Plays this time and the Britons. This is the Iron Kaiser, signing out.